Welcome to Verde Garden, a place where timeless nature and rustic charm meet in the most heartwarming ways. Before we begin, we invite you to take a moment to support this channel by subscribing. Your support helps us continue sharing peaceful and thoughtful garden inspiration, and it brings us closer to our first 1,000 subscribers. Today, we're stepping into the gentle world of small Italian rustic gardens, where vintage textures, natural materials, and southern warmth transform even the tiniest corner into something magical. Have you ever dreamed of creating a Tuscan courtyard feel right outside your door? Whether you live in the countryside or the city, these 12 curated ideas will help you shape a garden that whispers with nostalgia and breathes with Mediterranean spirit. Each idea celebrates heritage, simplicity, and the quiet beauty of weathered stone and terracotta. From fragrant herbs growing in rustic crates to old gates turned into living backdrops, these are spaces that feel lived in, loved, and timeless. Let us walk through this together, slowly, intentionally, one idea at a time. And perhaps you'll find a corner of your own that's ready to bloom with Italian rustic soul. One, reclaim terracotta pots and planters. Terracotta is the soul of southern Italian gardens. Warm, earthy, and alive with history. Reclaimed pots, even those with chips or moss, add a layer of age and authenticity. Group them in clusters, mixing sizes, and let herbs or lavender spill out gently. They carry the colors of the sun and earth, and every crack tells a story. Use old brick ledges, vintage wooden benches, or wrought iron plant stands to raise them. You don't need perfect symmetry, imperfections create charm. With time, they'll gather moss, sun fading, and more character. Fill them with drought-tolerant plants or seasonal blooms for a rotating palette of texture and scent. Terracotta never rushes. It lives slowly, like the garden itself. Let each pot become a quiet focal point in your small rustic haven. 2. Wrought iron accents and antique garden furniture. There's something deeply grounding about aged iron, the weight, the curves, the patina. In small gardens, 1 or 2 antique wrought iron pieces can anchor the space beautifully. An old bench nestled near a wall, or a vintage table with chairs, invites quiet conversation. Rust and time-worn finishes are welcome here. They speak of years under the sun. You might add hanging iron lanterns or small trellises to guide vines upward. Look for pieces with curves, scrolls, and classic Mediterranean detailing. In a rustic garden, furniture doesn't have to match, it just has to belong. Use soft cushions and muted linens to add comfort without overwhelming the eye. Iron is both strong and delicate, lasting through the seasons gracefully. It becomes part of the landscape rather than standing apart from it. Three. Crushed gravel pathways and stone borders. Gravel paths bring an old-world rhythm to any garden, guiding your steps softly. They're perfect for small spaces, adding structure without feeling too formal. Italian rustic gardens often favor crushed limestone or golden gravel, warmed by the sun. Edges can be lined with aged bricks, stones, or natural logs. Let thyme or moss creep along the path's edge, softening the transition. Curved paths feel more organic, gently leading the eye and inviting exploration. They work beautifully between planters, beneath benches, or around a central feature. Gravel also drains well, making it practical and timeless. Add a few stepping stones for variation and a sense of discovery. With every step, you'll feel a deeper connection to the earth beneath you. 4. Olive trees and potted citrus for Mediterranean flair. Even in small gardens, you can bring a touch of the Mediterranean sun. Dwarf olive trees and potted lemon or orange trees evoke the romance of southern Italy. Placed in large terracotta containers, they become graceful living sculptures. Their silvery leaves shimmer in the sunlight, creating texture against stone walls. Citrus trees bring fragrance and fruit, reminding us of the season's gifts. They thrive in bright spots with good drainage and protection from harsh frost. Use wheeled bases if mobility is needed, especially in cooler climates. Underplant with trailing herbs like rosemary or oregano to enhance the Mediterranean palate. These trees become companions over time, steadfast, patient, and beautiful. They root your garden in both place and tradition. Five. Rustic wooden trellises for vertical growth. When space is limited, look to the sky. Handmade wooden trellises or repurposed lattice panels are perfect for climbing vines. Wisteria, grapevines, or jasmine turn vertical structures into fragrant, living walls. Choose aged wood with visible grain, maybe even a few old nails still intact. You can attach a trellis to a wall or let it stand freely with pots below. In rustic gardens, vertical elements help enclose and define the space softly. They add layers without taking up precious floor space. You might even frame a sitting area or entryway with arched trellises. Allow plants to grow slowly and wildly. It's part of the charm. Let your garden grow not just out, but upward into the light. 6. Stone walls and stucco backdrops. Even in the smallest courtyard, a textured backdrop transforms everything. Aged stone or weathered stucco offers both beauty and structure. These surfaces carry light differently throughout the day, shifting with the sun. They also serve as canvases for creeping ivy, espaliered fig trees, or trained roses. In rustic Italian gardens, walls are rarely just barriers, they're storytellers. If you can't build a real stone wall, faux panels or lime-washed plaster can offer similar warmth. Keep the tones soft, sand, taupe, ochre, or ivory to reflect the southern sun. Let imperfections show, cracks, stains, uneven layers, they're part of the romance. These vertical planes define the space without making it feel closed in. They cradle your plants, catch shadows, and carry the spirit of timeless design. Seven. Vintage garden tools and decor as accents. Every tool has a story, and in rustic gardens, old tools become part of the decor. An iron rake or watering can with faded paint leans charmingly against a stone wall. Repurposed hoes or spades can be used as trellis supports or artful backdrops. This is not clutter, it's character. These items whisper of decades spent tending the earth with care. Hang them under a small pergola, or gather them in an antique basket by the door. Even rusted trowels and wood-handled pruners add authentic detail. They ground the garden in memory and daily ritual. Display them simply and sparingly, like keepsakes, not props. They are part of the soul of the space, functional, honest, and beautiful in their age. 8. Earthy color palette and plant choices. Color in rustic Italian gardens comes not from bright flowers, but from sun-washed harmony. Sage green, dusty lavender, soft white, and terracotta red define the palette. Choose plants with silvery foliage or pale blooms, like lamb's ear, olive, thyme, or rock rose. These hues reflect the light gently and harmonize with natural materials. Deep greens from boxwood or bay laurel provide grounding, like the anchor in a painting. You don't need explosions of color, just quiet tones that echo stone and clay. Even your seasonal flowers, like snapdragons or cosmos, can follow a softened palette. The result feels effortless, lived in, and calming. This is the beauty of restraint, a quiet echo of the southern Italian countryside. Let your garden bloom softly, like a watercolor fading into the horizon. Nine. Small fountains or water basins. The sound of trickling water brings peace to even the smallest space. A stone fountain tucked in a corner creates a gentle rhythm to the day. Choose a classic design, perhaps a lion's head spout or a simple clay basin. If space is tight, even a repurposed terracotta bowl with a bubbling pump will do. Water invites life. Birds, bees, and butterflies stop by for a drink. Its movement draws the eye and cools the air around it. You don't need grand features, just something that speaks softly, like a whisper. Surround it with herbs or trailing plants to create a secret oasis. Let it be the heart of your garden's stillness. Where water flows, peace often follows. 10. Mosaic stone or brick flooring. Flooring in a small rustic garden is never just functional, it's an art form. Hand-laid bricks, mosaic tiles, or mismatched stones create visual interest underfoot. In southern Italy, these surfaces tell stories of centuries of footfalls. You can mix old and new pieces for a patchwork effect, embracing the beauty of imperfection. Herringbone, circular, or spiral patterns add motion and elegance to compact areas. Use mortar that blends with the natural tones, nothing too stark or modern. Let moss grow in the gaps if you wish, it only adds to the charm. This type of flooring is low maintenance and becomes more beautiful with time. It brings your eye down, grounding the space in place and tradition. Walking barefoot on warm stone is a simple, deep pleasure. Upcycled items and vintage finds. Creativity flourishes in small spaces, especially when using forgotten treasures. An old wooden ladder becomes a plant shelf, or a broken chair turns into a flower display. Rustic gardens love stories, and every vintage item brings one with it. Visit flea markets or family attics for treasures like old crates, enamel basins, or shutters. Each item should feel like it belongs, weathered, honest, and beautiful in its own way. Display them with intention, not clutter, 1 or 2 strong pieces per vignette. Let them echo the age of the landscape and the softness of your plants. They're not just decorations, they're conversation starters and memory keepers. This approach is sustainable and soulful. Your garden becomes a personal collage of time and care. 12. Herbs and edibles in rustic containers. A small rustic garden is not just for beauty, it's for living. Growing herbs like rosemary, sage, basil, and thyme add scent, flavor, and life to the space. Plant them in mismatched clay pots, old zinc tubs, or handmade wooden boxes. Let them tumble over the edges, full and fragrant. Place them near your kitchen door, on a windowsill, or beside your sitting area. They are practical and poetic at once, used in meals, teas, and remedies. Italian gardens often include edible elements woven into the design. Even a single tomato plant in a sunny pot brings joy and purpose. Tend to them with care, and they will reward you in every sense. Your garden, then, becomes a living pantry filled with aroma and nourishment. Thank you for walking with us through these 12 Italian rustic garden ideas for small spaces. If even one of these whispers spoke to you today, we invite you to subscribe to Verde Garden. Your support helps us reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers, and it means the world to us. These gardens remind us that beauty doesn't need grandeur. With a few thoughtful choices, even the smallest space can hold centuries of soul. We hope these ideas open new doors of inspiration, and that your own garden becomes a place of peace and poetry. Whether you live in a cottage, a city apartment, or a suburban corner, there is always room for nature's gentle touch. Stay rooted, stay inspired, and continue to grow. Until next time, thank you for being part of the Verde Garden family. And remember, your garden tells a story. Make it timeless.